Today we're going to be doing some fun experiments with some Helmar adhesives. So if you are watching on the Helmar blog, you're golden. You will find a list of all the supplies that I'm using in the blog post. But if you've wandered here through YouTube, just check the video description and I will have a link to the Helmar blog where you can get those lists of supplies should you choose to play along, and I hope that you will. I made some fun ATCs like so. I'll put some close-up pictures at the end of the video so y'all can see exactly what's going on here. First thing you're going to need, I'm going to show you a couple different things. First thing that I'm going to show you is how to use one particular Helmar glue to make like stamps where you can stamp images onto other papers. Okay, so you're going to need to start with some about cardstock weight pieces of painted paper, background papers, you know, whatever, that are cut to ATC size, 2.5 by 3.5 ish. And you are also going to need some Helmar scrap dots glue. So let me show you where we're going with this. I'll show you how I did these. Here's what I did. You put the glue, okay, you're going to need some scraps of either foam core board or mat board or cardboard or something like that. We're going to use the scrap dots glue to make sort of a stamp like these. These are the ones I used here. Okay, see, you can just kind of put blobs of glue on here and make little stamps, right? Because that's the thing about this scrap dots glue. It is made to dry dimensionally, okay? Now, I put this to the test because I didn't believe it. I put blobs of scrap dots on a piece of foam core board and I made, you know, the tippies like stand up. Y'all, they dried standing straight up exactly how they came out of the tube. They didn't squish down, they didn't flatten down. I can do this all day long and they will not flatten out. Color me impressed. So I think the idea behind this glue is to use it to mount things dimensionally, you know, to take the place of, say, like a foam tape, a dimensional foam mounting tape. You can use this glue instead. You get more control, you can get it into small spaces, you can control the depth of it, you know, so it's got a lot more options than a foam tape does. But it just got me thinking of other ways to use it, and I came up with this. Now, we've probably done this before with hot glue. Disadvantages, you don't get instant gratification. This does need to dry good, and it takes it like a day or two to cure. So there is that drawback. On the upside, this is much sturdier than hot glue, much stickier. It is not going to come off of this board, and heat resistant. So, you know, if you've got it anywhere near your heat gun, with hot glue that can cause a problem. It can cause some lifting, it can cause some melting or some altering of your shape. Not so with this, and I've hit this with my heat gun several times. I did everything I could to try to flatten these little tips and they just won't flatten. So yes, I'm very impressed with this. So, how are we going to do this? Let me show you. You're going to need some scraps, cardboard, mat board, you know, whatever. Use what you have. I happen to have some, these are foam core pieces left over from I don't even know what. You're going to need some scrap dots, and I have used quite a bit of my tube already because this is fun. Then you are just going to doodle out some designs. It doesn't matter what, and they certainly don't have to be perfect. You know, we're going for whimsical and fun, so let's make it whimsical and fun. Just do something like this maybe. Try to keep even pressure on the glue. You do want your glue to kind of be the same height, and I can see mine is quite varied here and there. And let me share a little trick with you. If you take some alcohol, this is regular rubbing alcohol. I think in the UK they call it surgical spirits maybe. I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol right here. I'm going to stick my finger in it, and then I'm going to kind of smooth some of these out. And all that does is it helps the glue to not stick to your fingers as badly as it would if you just stuck your finger in it. Let me show you. Okay, this is going to have to dry for like 2 days. Okay, so you can grab a cup of coffee or a sandwich because you have time. No, not really. I have prepared, so don't panic. Okay, you can use these as, see, these are just backgrounds. I just, you know, dipped them in acrylic paint and used them as fun, whimsical stamps on a pre-painted background, just a random piece that I had. Or we'll use them on the ATCs. When they dry, these are already dry. You can see they are, you know, they're on there, they're good. We can do what we want with them. Sometimes it helps a little bit to run a sanding block or an emery board over them to kind of rough up the surface a little bit. It holds paint better. But if you're just using regular acrylic paint, it's not a big problem. Now I have spread some black and white acrylic craft paint on my little palette area here. And I'm going to take my stamps and just do a messy, fun image on them, okay? These are just some painted papers. Here's the little, you know, thing. I'm going to put it, and I want quite a bit of paint on here because chances are this is not going to be perfectly level like a commercial stamp would be. So you want to get into all those high and low spots. Then you want to press down pretty firmly on your card. See? You get a little thingy. Now that our paint is dry, we can go in and embellish. This is the fun part. I like to use the Helmar Zap Dots as embellishments. Of course, they're great for, you know, mounting your cards onto something else, you know, the way they were intended to be used. But that's boring. So let's decorate with them. Let's use, I love these square, these are the 1/2" square clear Zap Dots. They're adhesive on both sides. You peel it off of here and then you stick it onto here. And let me tell you this, depending on the paint and whatever you've used on your base card, sometimes these have a hard time sticking. If they do, oh, that seems to be stuck. Well, no, it's moving a little. If they do, use a little dab of 450. I found that it works just fine. Glue it on there. And once it dries, we will peel off the release paper off the top, and it'll be sticky on top too. Once all your little dots are stuck down good, you can peel off the release papers. And start adding some little embellishment details. when you get tired of froofing to your heart's content, you can call them done. So these are just some fun ideas for different ways to use some of the adhesives that Helmar has. And usually when I finish everything here, I take them outside and I give them just a quick coat of the gloss varnish. Mainly that's for these little tapes. That little tiny, teeny-tiny gold tape. This is like what they use, you know, when you get acrylic nails and they do the fingernail art and stuff. Yeah, that's how teeny-tiny this is. This is the same type stuff they use. And it's sticky, but not super sticky. And I have trust issues, so that clear coat just sets my mind at ease. So, I hope you got some ideas for thinking outside the box, or the can, or the tube, or the bottle, or the jar, or whatever. And for more ideas on how to use Helmar adhesives, check out their blog. They've got some great projects. And that's all I have for now. The end.